What's up everybody, it's KelseeBrianaJai here with a review on an Hourglass foundation. And as you guys can tell by the title, the foundation is the Immaculate Liquid Powder Foundation, and this is a mattifying foundation. It is not a new foundation, it is a repackaged foundation. I don't think that they reformulated it either. The original packaging had a pump. The pump was faulty. A lot of people complained about it, so they repackaged and it is now in a squeeze tube, so you have total control over how much comes out. I picked this up from Sephora and it is $56. It is quite pricey, but I'm really curious to put it to the test. This foundation does have the standard 1 fluid ounce of product in there. Even though the packaging looks kind of small, it does have the same amount that most foundations normally have. This packaging is very lightweight. The packaging is very simplistic. For $56, I like to have a little bit of packaging. So I wouldn't mind paying $60 and getting a really nice bottle because I am a visual person. I like to see something pretty. There are 22 colors that are in this formulation. I kind of had a difficult time picking a color. I eventually settled on the color Honey. I honestly feel like I wanted a shade that was a little bit darker but not as dark as the next shade. I feel like I made it work right now, and I have the same color in their stick foundation. So you guys know I'm a really big fan of their stick foundation, but I only really wear that foundation in the winter time, and I also don't wear it that much on camera. I think it looks a lot better in real life than it does on camera. But this foundation is a totally different formula. This one is a liquid to powder, and this is something that you don't really see that much of nowadays. So I'm gonna go ahead and read some claims off of Sephora's website about the foundation so that way we can familiarize ourselves with it. On Sephora's website, it says that this is a medium to full coverage foundation, and I disagree with that claim. I feel like it is just a strong overall medium coverage foundation. I put on 2 full applications of this foundation, and then I went back and I just kind of spot treated certain areas that I felt like needed a little bit more coverage, and it took a little bit of work to build it up to get the amount of coverage that you see now. So going in, I would say if you're a person who likes to see a little bit of your skin peek through, if you don't want your freckles to be totally covered up, if you have pretty much great skin and you just want something to just slightly even you out, a low maintenance foundation because it is a liquid to powder. So I think that that would be something that you like. It says that this foundation works for the following skin types: sensitive, combination, and oily. I feel like that is a true claim simply because this foundation dries down. Judging by the way this foundation feels on my face, I think that this will be great for people who have oily to combination skin because it's not going to give you that overly dewy look. It is a matte foundation, so I feel like it's going to absorb the excess oils that we may produce throughout the day. So the description says that it is a breakthrough liquid to powder foundation formula that absorbs oil, camouflages imperfections, and delivers a long-lasting velvet matte finish. I agree with all of that. It's a velvety matte, so it's not going to look dry. But if you do have dry areas on your face, I do feel like this foundation may emphasize that. So before using this foundation, I would recommend for you to exfoliate your face. It says that this innovative foundation helps reduce the appearance of oil, acne scars, and the severity breakouts. It's formulated with cashmere kaolinite clay, which absorbs 75% of its weight in oil without over drying the skin. The oil-free formula transforms instantly from liquid to powder, creating an all-day finish that camouflages imperfections and never appears dull, flat, or cakey. This foundation's ultra-fine pigments provide unsurpassed coverage and effectively eliminate the need for powder, blotting, or constant touch-ups throughout the day. So, as the directions state, I did not apply additional powder on the areas where I have the foundation. I did go ahead and set my under eye because I did use a different formula concealer because girl, I need these things concealed underneath here. But I didn't put any powder on the rest of my face because I really want to see what this foundation does. And I think that it's really interesting that this foundation makes claims to fix imperfections on the face, so like dark marks, acne scars, and it claims to help acne. So those are claims that I'm not going to be able to back today. You definitely have to use the foundation over a period of time to see if that is true, but I'm very interested to see how it wears throughout the day and just overall how it looks. Am I going to have to blot my face? Is this foundation still going to look beautiful at the end of the day? I want you guys to see the demonstration of me applying it. That way you can see what my skin looks like, and then you'll see what it looks like with me putting it on, and that way you can get an idea of how the application is using this product. So let me know if you you plan on getting this down in the comment section and enjoy. Let's open up our foundation. The directions say to apply with an Hourglass foundation brush or fingertips, working in sections of the face. Apply a small amount, blend, and repeat. Work quickly, as Immaculate immediately transforms from liquid to powder as you blend. For best results, prep complexion with Hourglass primer. So I don't have the Hourglass primer. That's okay. I'm just gonna roll with it. I'm going to apply this today with my Artis Oval 7 brush. I'm going to work from the back of my hand. I have a little bit over a pea-sized amount, and I'm going to lightly dab my brush in it and begin to apply it all over my face. Okay. It's giving pretty decent coverage. It feels really smooth. It has a different kind of smell to it. I still have some left over, and I'm going to apply that on this side. So I'm working as fast as possible. It did say on the directions on Sephora not to apply this with a sponge, so definitely a brush is the chosen method. It feels so lightweight, like it feels like cashmere on the face. With that squirt, I was able to do my entire face. I do still see a lot of my skin underneath, definitely some imperfections still peeking through. But I mean, if you don't want a full coverage foundation, if you're okay with some of your skin still peeking through, like you still being able to see your freckles, still being able to see some of the blemishes, then it's fine. But for us girls that want a little bit of full coverage, let's see how it builds up. So again, you see this on my hand is totally dried down, which is crazy. I'm gonna squirt a little bit more here, and I'm gonna build it and see how it builds. They are definitely right. Make sure you work in sections, because trying to apply this all on your face at one time will have you dazed and confused. It is dried on there, so you see that added an extra layer of coverage. It built really nicely. I will say that. It doesn't look cakey. It still looks very natural. So here's 2 layers. I'm gonna go back and put a little bit in certain areas, because this is definitely not full coverage. It's more so of just like a medium natural. Every foundation is not going to give you an absolute flawless finish, and that's okay, because that's not every foundation's intended purpose. This is what it looks like with 2 full coats of foundation, and then I went back in certain areas that I felt like needed a little bit more coverage. It definitely layered really nicely. It doesn't look cakey. It's very smooth, but it does emphasize a little bit of the dryness. It is a really nice everyday foundation. I think that this will be great for people who don't like to have a lot of steps in their foundation routine, since this does go from liquid to powder. As you can see, this is like my little palette that I was working off of, the back of my hand. You can see like where the foundation is completely dried down matte, and when you try to blend it, it's kind of hard to do it. You still see that line there. It's hard to do, so you have to make sure you work quickly. What I'm going to do now is apply the rest of my makeup. I'm going to see how it lays on top of here. I'm not going to apply powder on the foundation because it is a liquid to powder. I want to see how the foundation wears, and I will be back. So here's what it looks like with everything all together. I think it looks pretty decent. I'm actually very pleasantly surprised. I like how it's matte and it looks very soft, and I feel like it makes my skin kind of look airbrushed. So I'm interested to see how it will wear for the entirety of the day. So I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna live my life, and I'll check back in at the end of the day to let you guys know how it wore. It's the end of the day. I've had this foundation on for hours at this point. I've had this foundation on for 7 hours. I've not touched up once. I have not blotted a forehead, and I still think the foundation looks pretty much the same. I've been outside, I've run errands, I've eaten dinner, and I've had to continuously touch up my lipstick, but not the foundation. I think that this foundation will probably be somebody with extremely oily skins answer to a lot of problems. However, if you have dry skin, I think that this is going to cling to your dry patches, and I don't think you're going to like it. I didn't mention these things earlier, but it just kind of dawned on me that I should. I didn't show the packaging. Standard Hourglass brown packaging. And then also I wanted to mention the smell of the foundation. If you guys know what bubbles smell like, you know, the kind that you dip and you blow and it make, you know, bubbles. It smells like bubbles. But there has not been 1 ounce of oil that's broken through. There is no separation anywhere on my face. The foundation is there. So if you need a foundation for longevity and you have the proper skin type that fits within the realm of this foundation, I would say give it a whirl. Test it out. See what you think. I personally, for my skin type and my foundation preferences, I'm going to go ahead and say pass for me. I personally like a foundation that's a little bit more dewy, because on my skin type right now it's borderline too dry with me using Retin-A. Not saying it's a bad foundation, it's just not for me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. If you haven't already, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. And I will talk to you guys extremely soon. Smooches. Bye.